Two thieves had just entered the warehouse. They heard a coughing sound from the depths of the warehouse. The air around them suddenly became sticky. They could hardly breathe. Immediately after that, a flame erupted from the depths of the warehouse, surrounding the two of them. The monster lurking in the depths of the warehouse let out a satisfied smile. Not surprisingly, Nick and Blackie arrived at the scene again. Wu introduced them to the case. Two thieves came to the warehouse to steal copper products, but they were burnt to a crisp. And the strange thing about this fire is, the starting point was a few meters away. The two men were pushed against this wall by the blast. It seems that the fuel used by the killer is explosive in nature, and it can also release deadly heat in a short time. Blackie found an unknown liquid on the floor. It's sticky to the touch and looks like oil. It burns quickly when lit on fire. This is most likely the killer left behind the fuel, but after laboratory tests, no one could have guessed. This thing is actually human fat. The warehouse owner changed the lock again, although he had changed it several times before, and then he was attacked by an old man. Nick and Black arrived on the scene. The owner claims the killer is still in the warehouse. They started searching for him. Suddenly, a coughing sound came over Wu's walkie-talkie. He's been sprayed in the face with an unknown liquid. He's having trouble breathing. Nick urgently advised him to evacuate immediately, and cautioned him not to fire. When the two of them met up with Wu, they saw a scruffy old man in front of them. Then he began to cough violently. The air was instantly filled with an unknown liquid. Nick then saw the murderer's true face. It was the legendary fire-breathing dragon. Luckily, everyone reacted quickly, and the old man took advantage of the chaos and ran out of the barricade. Through the DNA detected in the grease, got a lock on a retired vet named Old White. White was a former employee of the railroad. He was fired for insanity and has not been heard from since. He has a daughter named Bai Lu. She was a performer at a club. Bai Lu was a fire-breathing girl on stage. Nick realizes that Shiru is also a fire dragon. Bai Lu looked over at him. She smiled charmingly. She seemed to have fallen in love with the scrim at first sight. When Shiru got off work, Nick followed her to her house. Suddenly, he noticed a flickering fire in the yard. Nick went to the backyard without thinking. Under the tree in the yard, she found some sticky liquid, but suddenly, Nick was jumped to the ground by Bai Lu. Nick was taken away from her first kiss. Shiro seemed to have no qualms about it. She kept praising Nick's body, but then Nick's phone rang. When she found out it was Nick's girlfriend, Julie, Shiro was instantly excited. She tried to show herself to Juliet. She tried to show Juliet that she was with Nick. Nick grabbed the phone and tried to explain, but Juliet didn't give him a chance either. She hung up. Nick's in a hurry. He had to go home and calm Julie down. Luckily, Nick was usually more honest. After some efforts, Nick finally calms Juliet's anger. Then Nick found out from reading ancient books that fire dragons like to collect so-called treasures and hide them in their lairs, and the bones at the entrance of the lair. The Grimm's grandparents mistook it for a gateway to hell. At the same time, Bai Lu found his father in the mine. It turns out Bai Lu's father is seriously ill and dying. Bai Lu comforted him. She said she had found the one who could save him. The next day, Nick got it from the railroad. Old White's wife died in a fire. Since then, he's been crazy. The last time he was seen, he was at the end of an abandoned railroad track, and at the end of it was a mine. When Nick got home,